Alrighty then. Hey there guys, it's been a very, very long time. Almost 2 years since my last video. I've got a lot to go over in this one, so strap in. If you don't really care about the why, I'll include a timestamp for finding out what comes next. So yeah, that's right here, right now. So I guess let's start off with the obvious question. What happened? Why did I suddenly stop? And why haven't I come back? To answer the first one, I simply lost the habit of making videos. I missed a day, and that day turned into another, and soon enough I had convinced myself that I didn't have enough time to work on it for a while. And I just kind of wasted my days doing nothing in particular. Sounds really dumb when I put it that way. Sorry, I don't want this to be some sort of sappy video. I want to make that clear. You see, it wasn't really because I had lost interest. I was actually really enjoying making the videos. I just kind of, lost it. It's really hard to explain. As for why I didn't come back, well, there are a couple of reasons. First of all, I was kind of starting to question if I really wanted to keep this channel going. At least the way it was. Did I want to keep making random Let's Plays? Did I want to go back kind of to my old style of just basic Nintendo games? Did I want to lean more into video discussions and do something, kind of more akin to this video? Or maybe I wanted to be a live streamer instead and feel more close to the audience since, I always said how the comments are what makes me enjoy this more than anything, so maybe live comment feed would help? I just really didn't know. And while all these questions were bouncing around in my head, something changed with YouTube with really poor timing. I no longer got alerts for comments. While I was debating back and forth about what to do next, it suddenly felt like everyone just stopped commenting. I started to care less and less about what to do next and instead started wondering, does anyone even care that I'm gone? As it was, I already got very few comments, and the ones that I did get seriously would make my days. Like, I can't even describe how happy I was anytime I got a comment from any of you guys. And I had gone on hiatus before, and each time that happened, there were people asking where I had gone. This had always led me to make a new video, a channel update of sorts, that would explain what was going on and what would be happening in the future. This time, though, it seemed like nobody really cared. I thought maybe everyone had finally gotten sick of the wishy-washy way I was running the channel and they'd kind of given up. I wouldn't really have blamed them for it, and this killed my motivation to start the channel again. I got in my head that I would effectively have to start over and find a new audience if I ever did start again at all, so I just didn't. From time to time, I'd think of the channel and come up with a few ideas of what to do. I thought of starting fresh as a live streamer, or maybe just starting a whole new channel. During that time, I even actually came up with a new username, which I use everywhere now, but more on that later. I even made a new YouTube channel under the new name and never started uploading. But I was considering for a while of going to that new channel and starting fresh, pretending that the failures I'd had on this channel didn't exist. It sounds bad to put it that way, but that was kind of what I was thinking. Either way, once I got that idea in my head, I was feeling a bit hopeful to start again, and I knew that soon enough I'd be moving in with my girlfriend. It'd be a couple months out. So I started to lean into a very dangerous cycle. I decided to put it off until I moved in with her. So after I decided to put things off until I moved in with her, this was around January, by the way, I was looking through the settings of my channel randomly, and I happened to come to the comments tab, and I found out people were still commenting a full year after I'd stopped making videos. So this was kind of the eye-opener for me of, oh, people did care, and I just kind of stopped and didn't make videos and assumed that nobody really minded. This was kind of awkward. It was a wake-up call for me for one thing. I finally knew that people cared, and I had been keeping them waiting. But at the same time, it was kind of terrifying. It's like, what if they're upset that I took so long? What if they cared a year ago, but now it's too late? What if? Either way, a lot of what ifs. Eventually, those comments are what made me decide not to start a new channel and instead return here. But then, why did it take so long? That was like in January, and now it's, September? Yeah, September. why did it take so long? Well, remember that dangerous cycle I mentioned a little bit ago? Well, I was planning to start once I moved in with my girlfriend, even though I thought there might be issues with that, but that's beside the point. Either way, well, my girlfriend and I had been together about a little over 2 years, and we split up. So that plan changed. At the time, my mom was in the process of moving too, so since I had to stay with her for the time being, I had to move too, and thus I lost my recording room. Once I moved, I thought, well, I can still work here, but I need some new equipment to start working. Then I decided to get my own apartment, and it became, well, I'll get the new equipment when I'm there, then I'll start. You see the problem? I'd fallen into what's called the toolbox fallacy. The channel Passion of the Nerd, fantastic channel by the way, has an excellent video explaining the concept, which I'm leaving a link in the description if I can get that little eye notification up in the top right, there. I'm not sure if I can link to other channels. You know what I'm talking about though. There'll be a link to it. He does a better explanation of what I can do, but the gist of the concept of the toolbox fallacy is that I'd fall into a pattern of I need this in order to do what I want. I need a better mic, I need my own place, I need a second monitor in order to record games, things like that. And even when I'd get new tools, be it like I'd complete the move, oh, but I need this, then I would just find another goal in mind and I'd put it off. So that video kind of helped me realize what I was doing didn't make any sense. You see, I didn't have anything fancy when I first started. I had a $5 headset, a Dazzle capture card, and no internet. Yeah, I bring this up every once in a while on the channel. When I first started, I didn't have internet. Well, technically I did. It was dial-up, but it was spotty at best and would sometimes just completely cut out. I could never finish an upload on it. I tried. And what I would do is I would actually go to high school and have a bunch of videos on my laptop, connect to the Wi-Fi, and while I was working on things during class, I would secretly open up YouTube and upload videos in the middle of class just so I could get them out there. That's actually why I was really spotty when I first started, too. Either way, back then I didn't find problems. I found solutions. I made it work because I wanted to. Nowadays, I was finding any problem that I could as an excuse not to do it. Why, though? I didn't hate making videos. I love making videos. I just kind of fell into a pattern and never got out. I'd been thinking of making this video for months and months, actually, this announcement that I'm coming back, but I kept putting that off too, just thinking, well, I'm not sure if I could start making videos yet because such and such and such and such. Whatever. This realization, that video, was the spark that got me to actually, write this whole video out and get started. That leads me to where I am now. Honestly, the videos I put out right now won't be great. Things might be a bit spotty while life is still in turmoil. I still haven't actually moved yet, but that's going to be coming soon. But I know I can at least get the ball rolling for when things get better. Now, this raises the question of what's next. And if you skipped ahead with a timestamp to this point in the video, hello again, glad you're interested to actually continue watching. So either way, for what's coming next, I have a few plans. First of all, I'm rebranding the channel. The name Megalovaniac was always meant to be a temporary name anyway. I liked it. It was a reference to one of my favorite games, and it was better than Ventus, or I was going by Ventus976, but let's be honest, everyone said Ventus, and my friends even called me Ven, so it was all kinds of confusing. I just kind of wanted to have something original. Megalovaniac was, I guess, kind of better. It at least didn't have numbers in the name. And it was a reference to one of my favorite games, but it was also really common. I got the idea that, oh, nobody's thought of this yet, even though I thought people probably would have, but I tried signing up for the username in multiple places and it wasn't taken. About 2 months later, I signed up for more usernames and it was always taken, so yeah, I guess I wasn't as clever as I thought I was, which, honestly, never mind. Either way, I've settled on a new name now, and this one actually does feel more personal. The name is Ven Lapaki. You see, all my friends still call me Ven, as I mentioned, so this one works well. It makes it so the username will fit whenever anyone calls me Ven. And I'm gonna wait a week before actually rebranding the channel so that everyone can see this video, and then I'm gonna change the name and this channel will be Ven Lapaki. Now on to the more important announcement. I'm splitting the channel. You see, there's two types of videos I like to make. Playthroughs of older games, mostly Nintendo stuff that I'm really familiar with and I can give my personal perspective on and tell you stories of when I was a kid, all kinds of interesting things like that. And then there's the newer kind of games. Games that have just come out or have been out for a few years but I've never played before, something I can have my first experience with you guys, and as well as games that are more endless. Things that don't really have a definitive end, like when I was playing Oxygen Not Included and Don't Starve. There's no real definitive end for those games. Those styles of games, the older games that I'm familiar with and new games I'm not familiar with, they don't really mesh on a single channel very well. It would make sort of a discordance that doesn't work. That's why I decided to split things. As for this channel right here that you're watching this video on, this is where the older games and classic content's gonna be. The Nintendo games, I'm thinking about starting a new playthrough of an older game that I might have played before, or maybe doing something new that I'm still well familiar with. This is where my channel started, and that's why I want this to be sticking with. The newer games, on the other hand, will be starting immediately on Twitch. You see, I play games often enough with friends and on my own, so if I'm playing a game I think you guys will enjoy, I'll be streaming it. Games you've seen here before, like Oxygen Not Included and Don't Starve, along with newer games you guys haven't seen here, like Dead by Daylight and Monster Hunter. So, right now the plan is to have a stream every Sunday evening starting about 5 p.m. Pacific time. You see, on that night specifically, I plan to have games that are easy for me to sit down and chat with you guys one-on-one. There won't be anyone else with me in the call or anything like that. The rest of the week, however, will be a bit more sporadic, usually starting around 8 p.m. Again, if this is going to be happening, I'll announce it on Twitter ahead of the time. I really do hope you guys will enjoy hanging out with me when I'm all awkward and unedited and not able to cut out when I accidentally say something I don't intend to. I hope you guys will enjoy. Now, I briefly mentioned Twitter. I'm actually going to be putting my Twitter in the description as well so you guys can keep up to date, not just for live streams either. You see, if you want to know when a live stream will start, of course, I'll be tweeting it there ahead of time just to make sure that everybody knows. But also when it comes to this channel and the fact that I can't upload immediately, if you want updates and don't want to be kept in the dark for a couple of weeks, or it might even be like over a month before I'm able to really start, but you guys will be kept up to date there as I have news to give out on Twitter. So yeah, that's going to be available for you guys to join. Either way, I think that's about everything I wanted to cover. New name, new format, new split channel, and hopefully a new perspective from me, because I really want to get this right. So, yeah, lots of changes coming, and I hope a few of you are still around to watch it. To those of you who are new, well, I'd say new, but many of you subscribed over a year ago and have never seen a new video. Still, I want to welcome you guys to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. And for those of you who have waited a long time without any news, I'm sorry it took so long, but I am going to try to make it up to you. For now, though, thank you guys for sticking with me to the end, and I'll see you soon.